Hello, my name is Carrie Hines, and thank you for watching my first year retention plan proposal for North Idaho College. Today we will review a school overview, current retention challenges, my proposed retention plan, and my proposed implementation. North Idaho College is a public 2-year community college that was founded in 1933. Located in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, the college serves the 5 northern counties of Kootenai, Bonner, Boundary, Shoshone, and Benoit. Coeur d'Alene has a population of approximately 46,000 people, and the city of Spokane, which is 30 minutes west of Coeur d'Alene, has a population of 210,000. North Idaho College offers 44 transfer programs, 42 professional technical programs, as well as a dual enrollment program for local high school students. Besides the main campus in Coeur d'Alene, NIC has 3 outreach centers located in Kellogg, Idaho, Sandpoint, Idaho, and Bonners Ferry, Idaho. The school enrolls approximately 5,779 students, with 3,779 of those students counting towards full-time enrollment, or FTE. The average age of our student is 27. Our current population of students is 40% male and 60% female. Our students are primarily first generation and/or low income. Additionally, we have a high number of non-traditional students attending our institution. In fall 2014, 76% of our students received financial aid, with 87% of those students receiving a full or partial Pell Grant. Additionally, 88.3% of our students live in-state, with 84% living within 45 miles of the college. The mission of North Idaho College is to meet the diverse educational needs of students, employers, and the local communities it serves through a commitment to student success, educational excellence, community engagement, and lifelong learning. The institution also has 5 values: student success, a vibrant, lifelong learning environment that engages students as partners in achieving educational goals to enhance their quality of life; educational excellence, high academic standards, passionate and skillful instruction, professional development, and innovative programming while continuously improving all services and outcomes; community engagement, collaborative partnerships with businesses, organizations, community members, and educational institutions to identify and address changing educational needs; stewardship, economic and environmental sustainability through leadership, awareness, and responsiveness to changing community resources; and diversity, a learning environment that celebrates the uniqueness of all individuals and encourages cultural competency. North Idaho College faces numerous challenges to implementing a successful retention plan. As previously stated, NIC is a community college serving the 5 northern counties of Idaho. The statistics for community college student success and retention is not extremely impressive. They are at a much higher risk for leaving school prior to completing their intended educational goal. Here are some statistics facing community colleges and their students. Public community colleges have a 55.5% retention rate of first-year students. 51.7% of those students entering community college place into remedial coursework. Of those 51%, 22.3% will finish their remedial coursework in 2 years. Of those students, only 9.5% of these students will actually graduate within 3 years, and only 4% of students placing into remedial coursework are able to graduate within 2 years with an associate's degree. Students beginning at a community college with the intention of transferring for a four-year institution are 20% less likely to complete a bachelor's degree than students who begin at a four-year institution. Considering over 80% of North Idaho College students are pursuing a transfer degree and enter college with the hopes of transferring for a four-year degree, this is a large concern for institutional administrators as well as for potential and current students. Additionally, North Idaho College serves a large population of traditionally at-risk students, such as first generation, who are 4 times more likely to drop out after their first year, and 89% will not complete a bachelor's degree within 6 years. Low income. Again, 76% of North Idaho College students qualify for financial aid. Out of those students, 83% qualify for a full Pell Grant. This means they are living at or near the poverty line. Non-traditional students. A non-traditional student is a student that is 24 years or older. The average age of a student in NIC is 27. And part-time attendance. Any student attending taking fewer than 12 credits is considered part-time. The average number of credits an NIC student completes or enrolls in is 9. All of these populations are more likely to place into remedial coursework. Currently, North Idaho College's graduation rate is only 20%. The third and one of the largest challenges facing North Idaho College is the lack of campus-wide support and engagement in regards to retention. As with many institutions, too little organizational focus and coordination is given to campus-based retention efforts. As described in our course textbook, Handbook of Strategic Enrollment Management and Retention Planning is a comprehensive approach to integrating all of the university's programs, practices, policies, and planning related to achieving the optimal recruitment, retention, and graduation of students. NIC does not currently have a cohesive strategic enrollment management or retention plan. Each division and department work separately, and while many of the programs and initiatives have had success, in order for NIC to see an increase in retention and graduation rate, it must become a more cohesive campus-wide effort. My proposed retention plan consists of 2 segments. The first is acceptance to registration. The first step of this plan would be the implementation of a personal enrollment coach program. The role of the admissions office begins with a prospective student and continues through the recruitment and application process until a student is matriculated into the institution. Currently at North Idaho College, there is no communication or assistance program in place to work with students once they have applied and been accepted to NIC. After an initial email informing students of their acceptance, no further communication occurs with the student until their orientation, which for some students may be as long as 5 to 6 months. During this time, many students fall through the cracks and never follow through with the enrollment process. Since 2013, NIC has seen steady drops in enrollment numbers for new students, but has not seen a drop in application. To remedy this problem, the Student Services Division has begun a phone campaign. Each Student Services member calls 50 plus students who have applied but have yet to attend orientation and register in classes. This process is tedious and very impersonal to prospective students. To assist with this program, I would implement an enrollment coach program similar to the one at the Northeastern University College of Professional Studies. Immediately after a student files an application, they will be contacted by a personal enrollment coach. This person becomes a go-to for the student as well as someone who monitors the student's process through the application cycle. The institution would need to have approximately 15 enrollment coaches. Each enrollment coach would be assigned anywhere from 0 to 10 students per week once the application cycle begins. This number is manageable and can be tracked through a student record system already available on campus. Due to the budget constraints, my recommendation would be to have this duty incorporated into the jobs of the admissions and advising staff already employed at the college. Much of this already falls into the job descriptions and would be a much more meaningful way to engage prospective students and to assist them and to help them persist through the application process. My next recommendation would be financial aid advisors. As we saw earlier in the presentation, the majority of students at North Idaho College use financial aid to offset the cost of attending. Many of the questions and concerns students have when applying and making the college decision revolve around finances. How am I going to make this happen? What are my next steps? Additionally, we have a high number of first-generation students who have no family support in regards to the financial aid process. To ensure all students applying for financial aid understand the process and complete the needed steps to receive their award package in a timely manner, I would propose assigning a financial aid counselor to each new student. College can be very overwhelming, especially for first-time students. Add finances into the mix, and it can lead to a student deciding not to attend NIC. The financial aid advisor coupled with a personal enrollment coach can bring a more personalized experience to a prospective student. Next, I would recommend changes to the current new student orientation. The current program at NIC is not succeeding in retaining students from their first year to their second year. Currently, students, both transfer and freshmen, attend a 2.5-hour-long orientation with 22-minute sessions for orientation, financial aid, advising, and registration. This model leaves students feeling overwhelmed. In fact, many students appear in the main advising office immediately after orientation is complete because they have additional questions that could not be answered in a 22-minute session. While this program gives students what they want in terms of time, it fails to give students what they need to be a successful student and to enter their first term at NIC with confidence and understanding. In this retention proposal, I would recommend the orientation be lengthened to a day-long event and expand from a student services event to a campus-wide event. This is similar to the orientation program at Ivy Tech Richmond. Understanding that many of the students at NIC work during the day, I would recommend that a minimum of 2 orientations be held on the weekend. The new program would include the following sessions and opportunities for students. First, they would have a welcome. This would include an introduction from the college president. Second, there would be an advising session. This would be a one-on-one session with an advisor specializing in a student's major or area of interest. This session would be scheduled for 45 minutes, doubling the current time a student spends with an advisor. In addition, the advisor a student meets with at orientation will become their assigned advisor for their first year. At this point, the academic advisor will take over for the enrollment coach. Registration would also occur during this orientation. After meeting with an advisor, a student would be assisted by a student orientation leader to help them register in their classes. Currently, this is offered at orientation. However, it is in a group setting and limited to only 22 minutes. The orientation leader to student ratio would be 1:2, and 1 hour would be allotted for this process, and a student's schedule would be reviewed with an advisor prior to leaving the computer lab. There would be a financial aid workshop. Students intending to use financial aid would be required to attend a 45-minute workshop on financial aid and good financial choices. For students not intending to use financial aid, they would have the option to attend one of the many student success workshops offered at this time, such as time management and study skills. There would be additional breakout sessions for students to attend based on their interests and needs. Students can attend workshops on student life, student government, recreation opportunities through our Outdoor Pursuits Department, study skills and time management, Blackboard, the NIC Music Department, Art Department, and Theater Department. In fact, the entire campus would be open, and students would be able to seek out faculty within divisions they have an interest in or enjoy a free meal provided on campus. The purpose of this orientation is to ensure students begin their first semester on the right foot. Additionally, it is to turn the orientation process into a campus-wide event and not just student services. In regards to finances, the orientation budget should only need to be increased by a small margin to ensure food and beverages could be provided for attending students, staff, and faculty. An orientation of this size and length can hold far more students per session than the short 2.5-hour orientation currently in place. Therefore, rather than holding 13 plus orientations each summer, the institution could move towards a more realistic number of 4 spread throughout the summer. The next portion of my retention plan would cover the time between registration at orientation and second semester. The advising program and early alert program. North Idaho College currently has no formal advising program for its students. Except for the required 22-minute meeting with an advisor at orientation, there are no requirements for students to meet with an academic advisor in their first year, unless they are placed on academic or financial aid probation. The reality of this is advisors are reaching students far too late to make any real changes before there are problems. Many students self-advise, and the result has been low completion and graduation rates, as well as many students reaching max time frame or attempted credits for their financial aid eligibility. This program includes the development of an advising program for all new students pursuing a transfer program. Each program will be assigned to a designated advisor within the central advising office. Currently, new students are automatically assigned to faculty advisors, and this is oftentimes done in a random manner. Many faculty advisors do not feel equipped to advise, as there is no required training for faculty prior to receiving advisees. To change this pattern, advisors within the main advising office will specialize and focus on specific divisions within the college. To ensure they are current on all program requirements and future changes to the programs, they will attend the division meetings along with faculty members from their assigned areas. This is a great way to increase communication between student services and instruction. This would become a partnership, and both sides can gain the knowledge and information needed to successfully support students within their division. Students would be assigned to their advisor at orientation. There would be required meetings, a minimum of 3 in the first semester. During these appointments, the advisor and the student will work together to develop a career and education plan. This would become a personalized, guided pathway to graduation. Additionally, this education plan will be entered into the student portal system. Consequently, it will be available for instruction to view and use in their course planning. Through this system, divisions can then predict which students will need which courses, making sure that the courses that students need for graduation are available. There will also be progress reports and midterms. The progress reports will occur at 2 weeks and 4 weeks, and the midterms occur at 7 weeks. For each meeting a student has with an advisor, a student's chance of success increases by 13%. This recommendation of required advising is based on this statistic and the best practices of programs such as TRIO and the Academic Recovery Program currently in place on the NIC campus. Once a student has a pathway in place and clear career and educational goals, they will be assigned to a faculty member within their subject of interest. There is no doubt that faculty play a key role in connecting students to their field. Additionally, because the advisor and division have a strong working relationship, the student is more likely to be assigned to an instructor strong in their area of interest rather than a random advisor assigned during the current NIC practice. The second portion of this phase of the plan would be an early alert system. In addition to the advising program, I would recommend NIC utilize an early alert system. This system would be a formal, proactive feedback system through which students and student support agents are alerted to early manifestations of poor academic performance. Early alert systems are designed to allow for quick communication between faculty, who are key to the success of an early alert system, and support staff who can reach out to struggling students. This type of program has been piloted on the NIC campus with students attending in poor academic standings, and the success and retention of these students is proof of the success a campus-wide early alert system can bring to NIC. Students in the pilot group were more than 40% more likely to be successful and persist than students not under the early alert system. An early alert system is currently housed on campus but has not been used outside of small pilot groups. There would be no additional financial cost to implementing this program. This is a campus-wide retention plan proposal. In order to ensure all constituencies are included in the decision-making and planning, the rollout of this program would be fall 2016. Several key components of the plan would need to be in place prior to its start. First, a communication plan. This plan would need to include communication for NIC employees as well as students. The more information given out to the NIC community, the more comfortable people will feel with the changes to policies and procedures. My recommendation would be to begin the campus-wide information blast at the Spring 2016 Convocation Week for faculty and staff. Workshops explaining more about the new program could be offered throughout the Convocation Week and during the Spring 2016 semester. Training would need to be established for faculty and for staff in several different areas, specifically the early alert software and student educational planning within the student, faculty, and staff portals. There would need to be some budgetary concerns addressed. My intention with this plan was to utilize the resources already in place on the NIC campus, but in a more connected and meaningful manner. However, some budgetary adjustments would need to be made to the orientation budget and possibly an additional IT position to support the early alert software system on campus. If funding is not available for a designated position, I would recommend establishing a point person within IT to assist with the campus-wide implementation and usage of the product. And finally, assessments. Like any program on campus, the retention plan would need to have a strongly developed assessment plan. The need of the institution and students is constantly changing. The retention plan should be evaluated annually to ensure the goals and benchmarks are being successfully reached and to identify areas of improvement. This will also assist in future budgetary requests if needed. Retention is a campus-wide concern, and recent turns in student enrollment have brought the need for a comprehensive and realistic retention plan to the forefront of many institutions of higher education. An institution's retention rates affects both its financial resources and reputation. It is imperative that colleges and universities work as a cohesive team to ensure their student success. This is key to future recruitment of students and the retention of current students. By implementing this proposed retention plan, NIC can begin to change their marketing campaign. We can highlight not only our cost efficiency and location, but our true commitment to students, which is shown through our retention program and increased student satisfaction and completion and graduation rates. Thank you for watching my presentation. I hope that you enjoyed it.